COVID-19 has also had an effect on movement. It is plain for us all to see that in the past 3 years, COVID-19 has restricted the movement of goods and services around the country. This may be especially through lockdown, where for 6 months people were not allowed to move out of their houses. And although different countries went to different stages of lockdown at different times, the result was the same. People could not move around.
Time up.
I hope with my point, I've been able to convince you that COVID-19 is indeed a burden and not a blessing. Thank you.
A big thank you to Dancehall High School. They spoke against COVID-19. For them, it's a burden. A round of applause for them. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, still speaking against is Peak Lane College. A round of applause for Peak Lane College. Representative, please come up. We want to hear your articulation, demonstration of brilliance and comprehension of the topic as you speak against. Yeah. So you have 2 minutes. We have 4 minutes in all, so you may do 2 minutes, or 3 minutes, 1 minute.
Thank you. Good day to the Vice Chancellor, Professor Nosa, representative of the guest speaker, Mr. Oladimeji, my panel of judges, my opponents, and of course, the ever-attentive audience. I am Ajo Ikosi and will remain so as a representative of Peak Lane International, and I'm here to oppose the motion that says COVID-19 a blessing, not a burden. Firstly, you must understand what COVID-19 is. It is a communicable respiratory disease that causes illnesses in humans due to new strains of coronavirus. And these illnesses lead to symptoms such as fever, cough, loss of taste and smell, and many more. It caused a pandemic which was a shock to the whole world. How can you say COVID-19 is a blessing when it was a burden to most people? It caused economic recession in many countries. Recession is a rapid decline in the economic capability of a country. Countries could not help each other, and even the underdeveloped ones have little equipment in treating COVID-19. When they could not treat COVID-19, many people died. When many people died, population decreased. When they decreased, the output of a country's production went down as well. Many good companies like Zenith Bank had to let go of their best employees in order to cope with the recession. And when they cope with the recession, it increased the rate of unemployment. And you say that this type of thing is a blessing. I don't see this as a blessing at all. When you ask me, I say that this is a burden, in fact, a curse, a menace to all. Because COVID-19 took a lot of lives. Millions of people, irreplaceable lives died. There were prominent Nigerians like Abba Kyari, Senator, okay, but we also have Professor Ibidapo, okay, that died of the coronavirus during the pandemic. How can you say it's a blessing when prominent leaders like that were taken away from us in Nigeria? How can you say it's a blessing when millions of people lost their loved ones? Even the populated and developed countries like China and USA also were not left out. They also lost many people, many great citizens, doctors, nurses, many professionals were lost during the coronavirus pandemic. One thing I also hate about coronavirus is the social problems that coronavirus caused for us. Coronavirus made people distant. It separated families. People could not see their loved ones. People were sad and frustrated. It restricted body contact.
You have 2 minutes to go.
Like hugging and body and handshakes. It made people very sad. It caused mental illnesses for the bereaved. In my conclusion, I hope you can agree with me that coronavirus is in fact a cause to all. Thank you.
Good day, Mr. Vice Principal, panel of judges, my honorary adjudicators, and my ever-attentive audience. My name is Oluwatosin Ento, and I am representing Peak Lane College International. How anyone can say that COVID-19 is a blessing and not a burden awes me. Would you like to see your loved ones but not be able to embrace them for fear of death? Or would you like to see them not willing to live again? No, of course not. COVID-19, a strain of coronavirus, which broke out on the 21st of December 2019 in a town called Wuhan in China, has brought about an enormous amount of negative happenings in our society, such as economic recession and stagnation, job prospect failures, job loss, closure of more borders and airports, an alarming decrease in population, and a very significant effect on our psychological development and health as individuals and as a society. Looking at the already high rate of unemployment in Nigeria, our country, COVID-19 has just made it worse. Because of the annoyingly easy ways of contacting the virus, various types and intensities of lockdowns were put into place. For this reason, recent graduates could not even go out to scour for jobs in the society. forcing them to spend so many months cooped up in their houses, making no significant use of their precious time and skills, especially those who require physical practice and use of their skills, such as the pilots and mechanical engineers. Not to talk about the problem of inflation at the start of the COVID-19 virus.
Time up.
Thank you very much. I hope I'll be able to convince you without any iota of doubt that COVID-19 is a burden and not a blessing.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That was Peak Lane College. And I appreciate that when they made valid points, not just students from Peak Lane applaud, there's a general applause. Is that okay? Très bien. Ladies and gentlemen, we've heard two cases spoken against, but there are those who want to speak for. Ladies and gentlemen, please make welcome the African Church Model College. They want to speak for COVID-19 is a blessing. You have the floor.
The COVID-19 is undeniably one of the deadliest diseases the world has ever seen. It has affected the lives and livelihood of people apparently across the world. The COVID-19 has been a major blessing in disguise rather than a disaster, which has opened the eyes of people to opportunities which were not in effect before the COVID-19 pandemic. Before I press further, I would like to give my utmost respect to the Vice Chancellor, the panel of judges, my accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and my ever-listening audience. My name is Ahama Isaac, and I'm a representative of the African Church Model College. I stand before this impressive gathering to affirm the motion that COVID-19 is a blessing and not a burden. On the 30th of January 2020, the COVID-19 was declared as a pandemic by the World Health Organization due to the unmitigated spread beyond measures. It is a contagious disease that is spread from one person to another, resulting in death. But behind every adversity lies great opportunity. It is an established fact that most of the fatalities and deaths of people over the years have been as a result of pollution caused by the emission of carbon monoxide from vehicles and industry. The industrial pollution was greatly reduced as industries were forced to shut down. Our generation is the first to experience the impact of climate change and the last to do something about it. The issue of global warming has been a great challenge to the world leaders and the scientific society. The COVID-19 saved the world from the eminent devastating effect of the global warming. It is mind-blowing to see how the air became crystal clear as cars were off the road in industrial cities due to the global quarantine. The COVID-19 has tremendously improved our health sector. More health units were built, more doctors were employed, though lives were lost, more lives were saved. There was an upgrade in clinical research, more medical equipment, cleaner facilities, and an improved production of medicine. The COVID-19 allowed policymakers to have an inward look towards the national health system development. The COVID-19 has helped to develop our technology. The COVID-19 has fast-tracked the world into a more digital era, which would have taken us 4 to 5 years to reach. But the COVID-19 took us in no time. According to Jim Rohn, you either run the day or the day runs you. The COVID-19
You have 2 minutes to go.
Advancement in technology. Robots were used to monitor patients, to sanitize hospitals, and they were used by frontline workers in carrying out activities to reduce the exposure to the virus, since they can easily be disinfected and they do not get sick. The COVID-19 has enhanced our digital skill. It has increased the learning capability of students. It has also enhanced the use of the Zoom, the Google Classroom, and the likes of many others. The COVID-19 has awakened the entrepreneurial thinking of people. Entrepreneurs were able to adapt to the last-minute changes and boost their business into the virtual world. It allowed for e-commerce and e-business. Buying and selling were transacted online. Those who were able to adopt those who were able to take advantage of the last-minute changes were able to boost their business into the virtual world. How long are we going to sadden our
time has come?
How long are we going to depress ourselves
1 minute
to the lives that were lost?
Sorry, one minute.
I conclude in the word of Zig Ziglar. When obstacles arise, you change your direction. You do not change your decision. Indeed, COVID-19 is a blessing and not a burden. Thank you.
A positive mind finds opportunity in everything, but a negative mind finds faults in everything. With a panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Makonjola Moyosoroluwa from the African Church Model College, supporting the motion, COVID-19 a blessing, not a burden. COVID-19 has enhanced family bonding or reunion. Family that were at the brink of disintegration due to lack of communication and unity, have found reason to strengthen their union. This has brought about a peaceful reunion between them. COVID-19 has exposed us to a greater use of information communication technology and also digitalization. Companies and individuals have been able to adapt to the virtual tools.
Your time is up. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is getting more fantastic. In Spanish, we say fantastico. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the presentation from the African Church Model College. A round of applause once again, ladies and gentlemen. And audience, I really applaud. I really appreciate you. When you see something good, you see something good. That's also a general applause, and that's the pattern we want to continue with. Ladies and gentlemen, we still want to hear. Now, we want to go back to against.
Don't judge, sir.
We want to go against. Right? Ladies and gentlemen, let's invite Excel College as they come forward to Excel. Where's the applause for Excel? Excel computer, Excel everything, Excel debate. A round of applause for them. The applause I say Excel applause. Hello? Hello?
The cliche, there is no evil in good, is the same idea as the modern adage, a true blessing has no sorrow. If this saying is axiomatic, what rational justification is there for anyone to see blessing in one of the world's most dreaded pandemics? Vice Chancellor, sir, non-partisan panel of judges, exemplary timekeeper, co-debaters, and my audience, whose attentiveness I greatly appreciate. Hello and good afternoon to you. Elutlomo Finfolo, I stand here before you from Excel College, a great institution that produces modern Shakespeare, Albert Einstein, and Okonjo Iweala. Fear, anxiety, and death, like a cloak, wears one just at the sound of COVID-19. As of today, we have lost many prominent people globally and in Nigeria, and even some unknown. It is also worth noting that it was during this time that there was an increase in crime and immorality. It is also worth noting, Vice Chancellor, sir, that was also during this period that Nigeria gained a reputation as a well-known cyber nation. They took advantage of the Western world's fund palliatives and even defrauded fellow Nigerians. A burden as used here is a noun that denotes heavy load and as a logical extension, evil. Everyone is aware that the COVID-19 is an infectious disease that is caused from the SARS-CoV-2 virus. Most viruses is not a blessing in my opinion, primarily because of its negative impact on the human body system, which results into weakness and death. This panel of judges is not a bone, who refers to weakness and death as a blessing. COVID-19 has brought millions of people to their death.
2 minutes to go. Thank you.
At the crowd of COVID-19 has snatched away a number of deaths, especially the elderly, who are supposed to be a library and a wisdom of wealth to the youths. The global economy was suffocated by the COVID-19. Global unemployment rates skyrocketed. Salaries of some employees slashed, and even some laid off without entitlement. What can we say about religious ban? Worshippers could no longer commit with one another, leading to the backsliding in faith, and most importantly, the loss of empathy on humans. Little wonder, the increase in nefarious activities during COVID-19. The human cost of COVID-19 is enormous, and it will continue to increase until public health systems struggle to cope. Do we refer to this as a blessing or a burden? I'll leave this to my panel of judges to respond. Thank you.
A true blessing adds no sorrow. The pandemic has clearly affected all areas of social and economic activity, with both governments and non-governmental organizations around the world coming together to mobilize enormous manpower and resources to combat what I call a global raging fire. The pandemic was a social and economic crisis, just as much as it was, and is still a health one. Its repercussions, severe and far-reaching, felt across the world. Before I go on, I would like to say, good morning, Mr. Chairman, sir, the panel of judges, the accurate timekeeper, the moderator, my distinguished audience, and my erudite personnel affairs. My name is Yoruba Oke, and I'm from the Great Expo College. My standing here is to oppose the motion that COVID-19 is a blessing and not a burden. The rapid spread of COVID-19 and the measures taken by governments to contain it have had serious consequences for the world's major economies. Many productive activities have been disrupted, first in Asia, then in Europe, North America, and then the rest of the world, and there have been widespread border closures. The pandemic led to a dramatic loss of human life worldwide. 6,220,390 people lost their lives worldwide.
Your time is up. Your time is up. Thank you very much.
The coronavirus continues on a trajectory that is difficult to predict. We pray and thoroughly hope that never again will the world witness a tragedy and consuming fire such as COVID-19. Because a burden such as this again, thank you.
A round of applause for Excel College for that brilliant performance. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, we want to listen to this one. 4.
Please, candidate, please. Once your time is up, please, you stop talking. Otherwise, we will be deducting your mark. Thank you.
A big thank you to him for what he said. He said, otherwise, which is first warning. Don't do it again. So you are not penalized according to him. First offender. Ladies and gentlemen, up next is speaking for Queen's College. A round of applause for the representatives from Queen's College, where the kings are at home to meet you. Queen's College, a resounding, resonating, vibrating round of applause for them, please, as the queens march up majestically to speak for on this occasion.
Roy T. Bennett, the author of The Light in the Heart, once said, "Nobody is exempted from the trials of life, but everyone can always find something positive in everything, even in the worst of times." Good morning, the chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and my ever-attentive audience. My name is Eze Somchi, a proud representative of Queen's College, Lagos. I stand before you today in support of the motion, COVID-19, a blessing and not a burden. For centuries, the pandemic was first reported in Wuhan, China in 2019, and it has spread all over the world, leading to the ongoing pandemic. This pandemic has caused a frenzy wherever it went, but the beautiful thing is we humans always find a way of seeing the good in every situation. Yes, the pandemic has had a lot of effects, but let us not overlook the positive impacts of the pandemic on our everyday lives. Wash your hands, make use of your sanitizers, maintain social distancing became the new anthem due to the advent of the pandemic. The pandemic has inadvertently made the whole world cleaner. Yes, who would ever think that everybody in the world would get into washing their hands and cleaning their environment? In the world, in countries like Israel, in their medical sectors, they are providing stethoscopes to keep COVID-19 patients at home by recording their lung images and sending it to specialist centers that will act as appropriate. Research conducted by the National Aeronautics and Space Agency and the European Space Agency shows that in epicenters of the world, 30% of pollution has been reduced in places like Wuhan, Italy, Spain, and the United States of America. Over the years, we humans have slowly but surely been destroying our environment, but we're forced to give the environment time to repair and rejuvenate itself due to the pandemic. I would like to ask a question. Does anybody here, anybody at all, think we would have been able to technologically evolve this fast in our medical sectors, become cleaner generally, find new ways of making our environment better for future generations to come if the pandemic had not happened? I really do not think so, but I will leave you to ponder. Yes, I strongly believe that we as a race of survivors will continue to push forward and look towards the light, because positivity will always outshine negativity in the world. I hope I'll be able to convince you that COVID-19 is indeed a blessing and not a burden. Thank you for listening.
It has been 2 years now since the outbreak of the novel coronavirus disease from Wuhan, the sprawling capital of Central China's Hubei province. The disease, which had a rapid spread throughout Asia, Europe, Africa, and the rest of the world, begot a global pandemic which jeopardized millions of lives. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, the panel of judges, the accurate timekeeper, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and my co-debaters. My name is Lawal Oluwakemi. I am a proud representative of the prestigious institution, Queen's College. I am honored to stand before you today to speak in favor of the motion which goes thus: COVID-19, a blessing and not a burden. The viral disease serves as a test that evaluates the global situation of various sectors all across the globe. COVID-19 helped to check the situations of various sectors across the globe, ranging from the health sector to the education sector to the economic sector and so many more. Nigeria, for instance, we were able to discover our weak systems and make rapid adjustments to the health sector, the education sector, and the economic sector. Now, in the health sector, we did not have enough health management facilities to be able to isolate and treat infected persons properly. But with the help of the COVID-19 pandemic, we were able to know that we have a lot of lapses in our health system, and we're able to make rapid adjustments and amendments for us to have a greater community resilience and response to people who are infected. In the same vein, the lockdown during the pandemic also helped to build stronger bonds amongst loved ones, as parents and guardians had enough time to spend with their wards to discover the new characters they had begun to exhibit due to their earlier negligence while busy trying to keep the family's head above water.
Your time is up, thank you.
Now, thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Queen's College. Round of applause for them once again. Up next is Andrews the Great. Wow! The representative, please come up. You want to listen to greatness now.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, distinguished listeners, ladies and gentlemen. I am Ekwen Dolachi, a proud representative of Andrews Grade School, and I stand before you on this August occasion to oppose the motion, COVID-19, a blessing, not a burden. To put the horse before the cart, it is only pertinent I give a brief introduction of what COVID-19 is all about. COVID-19, or rather, the novel coronavirus disease 19, is a communicable respiratory disease that originates from a new strain of coronaviruses that causes diseases in humans. It was first identified amid an outbreak of respiratory illness cases in Wuhan City, Hubei Province, China. It was initially reported by the World Health Organization on the 31st of December 2019. On January 30th, 2020, the World Health Organization declared the COVID outbreak a global health emergency. And on the 11th of March 2020, it was declared a global pandemic. The first confirmed case of COVID-19 was on the 27th of February 2020, when an Italian national in Lagos tested positive for the virus. This was over 2 years ago. And as at the 13th of April 2022, the world has recorded over 6 million COVID-related deaths. This brings me to my first point. The death of men and women, young and old, is sure to have an effect on any human community, and the death of over 6 million cannot be underrated. Of these people lost were young individuals, middle-aged, who in one way or the other had the potential to make a difference in the world, who possessed unique characteristics and could have contributed to the upliftment of their nation. All this is gone. I find it very fascinating that my opposition will try to stand in our presence and convince us that a virus which killed many can be considered a blessing. You, yes you, would you consider a murderer a blessing? I don't think so. It is fair to say that the death of an individual is death of potential, and the death of so many is the death of so much potential, and this is one thing no human community can truly recover from. Secondly, in a report published on the 12th of September 2021, mental health patterns, depression and anxiety statistics in England and Wales.
2 minutes to go. 2 minutes.
In this report, it was stated that sampled anxiety in British adults peaked after the lockdown began, and the share of adults reporting depressive symptoms doubled after the start of the pandemic, from 10%
9% to 20%. The United States also recorded surges in mental health issues like depression, anxiety, and substance use disorders. Not to talk of, Nigerians became psychologically disturbed after the pandemic began. The pandemic was characterized by fear and uncertainty, and with a lot of people losing their livelihoods and loved ones, common pleasures like walking into a restaurant with a good friend or going to a park were taken away from us. We are all subjected to sitting at home day and night, only to behold the increasing number of global deaths. I believe this alone is enough to get someone to develop anxiety. We hardly need nothing to get one's mind off it. That is probably why in the United States, when the pandemic hit hard, the country recorded a massive spike in the number of drug overdose deaths. Thirdly, not only did the pandemic have effect on the mental health of many around the world, it also had a tremendous negative impact on many, as the livelihoods of many were lost. Mr. Chairman, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is no iota of doubt in my mind that I have convinced you all that COVID-19 will continue to remain a burden that we all have to bear, as it has taken our lives away from us, both literally and figuratively speaking. Thank you all for your attention.
An obstruction to respiration in human beings, all because of a supposed blessing by my opponents. An article released by Statista in February 2022 shows that the number of informal businesses which were reported to have recorded no positive impact in the inception of the pandemic is at 85%. What is the deal of technological development, big money use, and survival funds if there are no human beings to benefit from the same cause? Good day to the Vice Chancellor, Mr. Chairman, the impartial panel of judges, Margaret Timekeeper, and of course, my attentive audience. My name is Agbinde Daniel, the supporting speaker, here to further portray this point.
Your time is up. Thank you.
Lord.
We can see, don't worry, we can see the fire in you. We can see the fire in you. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Andrews the Great School, correct? You said? Andrews the Great. A round of applause once again for yourself. You carry fire, we know. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is the Lagos African Church. A round of applause for them. Here they are in our front. You want to applaud them? Please applaud them now. Come up. The Lagos African Church. You have 4 minutes in all.
There is no doubt that coronavirus has definitely caused a lot of pain. There is no doubt that the coronavirus disease has definitely caused a lot of pain. But do you all know that along with this pain came blessings? Do you all know that the coronavirus disease has revealed a lot of incontrovertible facts that have been known for so long but chosen to be denied? Tell me, for how long are we going to keep murmuring about the pains that the COVID-19 brought, but not celebrate the blessings it came with? Blessings such as the improved medical facilities, online education, stronger family bonds, online business, which is now booming, and many more. Vice Chancellor, Mr. Chairman, proficient judges, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am you to stand before you today from the Lagos African Church Grammar School, and I am here to support the notion which says that COVID-19 is a blessing and not a burden. Now, COVID-19 has definitely left no corner of the world untouched. As of April 2020, since its discovery in China in December 2019, more than 3 million cases have been reported in about 310 countries and territories, with approximately 200,000 deaths and over 1 million recoveries. Now, COVID-19 has truly reminded us all that no man is an island, nor is any man truly self-sufficient, but everyone relies on the comfort, contributions, and company of others in order to thrive, and therefore we needed to be each other's keeper. To start off with, COVID-19 was revelatory, a blessing in disguise, and not a burden to so many people in the country, because it exposed Nigeria as a country where the quality of leadership is of low grade, and it has shown us what we have known for so long, which is an incontrovertible fact, that the quality of leadership in our country must improve. Isn't that a blessing in disguise to our dear motherland? Also, COVID-19 has also created an opportunity for the leaders to look inwards to develop the nation's healthcare system, which had been badly exposed by the pandemic as being below standard. During the pandemic, various governments provided improved medical facilities such as isolation beds, ICU beds, and ventilators, among others, to hospitals, clinics, and primary healthcare systems who were filled with the admitted patients diagnosed with the virus. Furthermore, COVID-19 has also helped us to expose the education divide in Nigeria.
2 minutes to go.
With children in rural and underserved
underserved communities could not have access to adapt or transition to new methods of learning. It has also shown us the importance of our teachers, and it has also given us the right to appreciate their efforts in trying to mold us to become people of the society. So, this point I stated earlier, such as the advancement of e-learning, improved medical facilities, and many more, it is clear that COVID-19 was actually a blessing in disguise. Thank you.
The words of our elders are words of wisdom. Our elders say there are blessings in perceived evils, and this statement was given a strong credence with the outbreak of coronavirus. All protocols duly observed. Standing before you is Idothem there from Lagos African Church Grammar School. I am here to buttress what my chief speaker has said earlier on. Prior to the outbreak of the disease, classroom teaching were being carried out in a regulated setting, with teachers and learners carrying out instructions in the confines of a classroom and having physical contact during teaching and learning. But COVID-19 has changed all that and has made virtual teaching and learning possible, with teachers and learners interacting virtually and carrying out instructions in the comfort of their own room and at their convenient time and pace. And at least in Nigeria, transportation costs, traffic congestion, and poor infrastructures in classrooms were totally eliminated. Furthermore, can you imagine the number of people that have become digitally literate as a result of the outbreak of COVID-19? Take for example in Nigeria, how many people can make use of Zoom, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, and so on in service delivery and teaching and learning? How many? But these have changed since the outbreak of COVID-19. And I strongly believe that my opponents here must have also benefited directly or indirectly from the outbreak of COVID-19, because he or she must have done online learning, online lesson or instructions. And if he has a parent or relative that was a salary earner during that time, he or she must have.
Your time is up.
With all these points I've stated, it is clearly seen that COVID-19 is a blessing and not a burden. Thank you.
A round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Lagos African Church. Thank you very much. Up next, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, still speaking for is today with us Landmark College. That is your own applause for yourself. A round of applause for Landmark College. Yes, Landmark College Ikorodu. Am I in order? Yes. Take the floor.
COVID-19 was a disease that took the world by surprise. But we're interested to know that in the midst of the hullabaloo, there are blessings hidden in place out of the situation. Please follow me today as I take you on those blessings. Good day, the distinguished chairman, panel of judges, my accurate timekeeper, and my ever-listening audience. My name is Brian Christopher, and I'm here to affirm you and assure you that COVID-19 is indeed a blessing and not a burden. Let me start by saying that with the enforcement of nationwide lockdowns across the globe and the absence of human movement that followed, the transportation sector experienced a drastic drop in the rate of deaths due to transport-related accidents. Air, water, road, and different types of transportation systems witnessed lesser mishaps during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now tell me, isn't that something to be grateful for? Let me forge ahead by saying that COVID-19 was an eye-opener that shattered the myth that says that we have to wake up early and rush out of the homes before work can be done. Now we all know that work can be done and be done even more effectively for the comfort of our homes using the internet at our disposal. Isn't that something to be grateful for? Again, the education industry barely managed to survive with the advent of online teaching. And online teaching has just proven to us that learning does not have to take place within the four walls of the school, but can be achieved and can be achieved effectively anywhere. I would also like to tell you that before COVID-19 started, the sales of nose masks, hand wash liquids, hand sanitizers was at a bare minimum. But upon the arrival of the pandemic, nose masks, hand washing liquids, and others became high in demand, giving local business initiatives and opportunities a boost and a boom in their business. This has given the youth something to be grateful for, and it is a form of self-employment for those who do not have any source of income to manage themselves. I would like to round up by saying that COVID-19 has reduced the levels of pollution in the nation. With the absence of human movement, smoking vehicles on the road, human activities, recreational activities, rowdy gatherings that cause noise pollution, COVID-19 has drastically dropped the rates of pollution in our environment, and by doing so has helped improve wildlife. I'm aware that COVID-19 might have had a huge impact on the world, but I would like to tell you that the way I see it, if you want to see the rainbow, you have to put on the minutes to go.
Good
Good day to you, the chairman of this occasion, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my listening audience, and my co-debaters. My name is Quadrupito Sharon, standing before you today to support the motion that states COVID-19 is indeed a blessing and not a burden. First of all, what is a blessing? A blessing is anything that comes your way, gives you favor, and helps you to progress in life. While a burden is anything that retards your movement or progress in life. First of all, how can you say COVID-19 is a burden? Before the event of COVID-19 or this pandemic, has anyone ever taken their time to learn online? Nobody. All of you have always been using your phone for one thing or the other, but due to this COVID-19, everyone has decided to learn online. COVID-19 has become an eye-opener to our economy, making us to make use of resources that we didn't even know we could use in the first place. COVID-19 has helped our economy to become bigger and greater than it was ever before. COVID-19 has helped us to cherish our loved ones. Due to the loss of life, everyone is afraid of losing his or her loved one. Everyone has been able to cherish the gift of life that God has given to us. Nobody wants to waste their life on useless things anymore. Everybody has seen the value of life after seeing loss of lives going on and around them. Before a diamond can be formed, it has to go through terrible conditions. COVID-19, I agree, was a very bad thing that ever happened to our economy. But this bad thing is a blessing in disguise. Because of COVID-19, health facilities have improved. Because of COVID-19, everybody has been able to develop their mind and talent. Because of COVID-19, kidnapping, crime rates, and other things that used to happen before has been reduced. Due to this lockdown, we have become closer to our family. Because of our parents that were going on, where we were never able to be with our parents due to being in boarding school, or our parents going abroad, or not staying in one place, or wherever, we were never able to meet our parents.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. A round of applause for Landmark College. A round of applause for them, ladies and gentlemen. And two more before we go. Please let's make welcome Baptista. Can you hear me? Come and baptize us with your points. And today they are speaking against.
The COVID-19 can be traced back to Wuhan, China, a seafood market, and was discovered on the 31st of December in the year 2019. The COVID-19 has beyond no reasonable doubt been a burden to us. Before I proceed any further, I'd like to give honor to whom honor is due. Good day, my panel of judges, my ever-great timekeeper, my co-debaters, and my ever-listening audience. My name is S.N. David, and I'm standing here to oppose the motion which states, and I quote, the COVID-19 is indeed a burden, not a blessing. My opponents here actually tell you that during the COVID-19 we were able to learn. But I'm here actually to put it to you that during the COVID-19, we were on lockdown, and people in the rural areas actually lacked access to quality education. The COVID-19 actually exacerbated existing inequalities between those who had access to quality education and those who lacked access to quality education. According to www.hwr.org, the COVID-19 has actually, beyond reasonable doubt, put to us a great scale of economic inequality. The COVID-19, the social and economic disasters caused by the COVID-19 is actually putting us in extreme poverty. The United Nations currently has said that by the end of this year, if proper care is not taken, so 132 million people are going to fall into extreme poverty. This is an addition to the current 690 million people who are facing extreme poverty. I'm here to tell you that 132 million people in this whole country are going to face extreme poverty for what they have no reason about. The COVID-19, beyond the reasonable doubt, has led to stigmatization. We all know that during the COVID-19, people who are actually said to have tested positive for the coronavirus had to go to two different policies. People had to get quarantined, and when they came out normally, they actually came out and were like pushed away that you have been tested positive for the COVID-19, you can't relate with me properly. The COVID-19 also, beyond no reasonable doubt, has pushed us away from our social people. The COVID-19 has actually banned or restricted fundamental human rights, which are not to be moved away by anybody. Fundamental human rights are actually to be accessed by everyone who is born or living on the earth. The COVID-19 was able to restrict two major fundamental human rights. That are the fundamental right to freedom of movement.
2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. Thank you.
The COVID-19 also, beyond no reasonable doubt, has actually been able to push us far more away from our cultural tradition.
Years ago, the world was affected by influenza. Influenza was a virus that killed millions of people. Since after then, the world has been moderately in peace, not until 2019, the coming of COVID-19. Good day to the management of the great Caleb University, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, Mr. Moderator, my beautiful audience and my co-debaters. My name is Tendi Atomi, Imam of Baptist Academy, and I am here to oppose the motion which says that COVID-19 is a blessing and not a curse to the human race. I cannot go on with this without expatiating what COVID-19 was. COVID-19 is a deadly disease which originated from Wuhan, China in the year 2019. This started from just one laboratory. One man was infected. Everyone took it with levity. But as time went on, 3 people, 5 people, 10 people, and next thing, the whole of Wuhan is infected. It spread on from Wuhan, not just within China, not just within Asia, down to Europe, North America, South America, Africa, and Australia. The spread of this virus has been of a big disadvantage to the whole world, because when people are being restricted from movement, COVID-19 brought onto us lockdown, and this restriction of movement made people lack access to their generator of their income, and hereby leaving people with hunger. Youths being hungry, have nothing to do, having no idea, no option, but being desperate for survival. Next thing they think of is going into crime. They go into crime, go kill, involve themselves in armed robbery, kidnapping, and all sorts of crime just to survive. Other people who are broad-minded, who have no other option, go through poverty. And as a result of COVID-19, in the last year, 2020, 9.7% of the total world's population have been going through poverty. 9.7%, estimately 10% of
Your time is up. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause once again for Baptist Academy. Thank you for baptizing us with that information. Last but not the least, on this august and auspicious occasion, to speak for and not against is Barakel Model College. A round of applause for Barakel. You will soon have your lunch now. I say a round of applause for Barakel.
The coronavirus first started in China, December 2019, in one laboratory. The coronavirus was named COVID-19 by the World Health Organization, which is known as WHO. Coronavirus first came into Nigeria on the 27th of February 2020, and immediate lockdown was pronounced throughout Nigeria on the 30th of March 2020. But this lockdown was effective immediately in Abuja, Lagos, and Ogun State. But everything that has its negative side will also have its positive side too, isn't it? Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and my fellow students. My name is Adibayo Dorcas. I'm a representative of Barakel Model College, and I'm here to support the motion which says COVID-19, a blessing, not a burden. My opponent would like to ask me, how is the virus that has claimed the lives of so many people be a blessing to us, but rather a burden? But let me put it to you that this same virus, which has claimed the lives of so many people, protected the lives of others. You might also want to ask me how, but I'm going to explain that to you. Through the implementation of the compulsory use of nose masks, hand sanitizer, regular hand washing, or even social distancing, prevented us from getting other microorganisms or pathogens that are in our environment. But how? A large percentage of us, even I myself, took the ideology of regular hand washing or usage of hand sanitizer with levity hands. We didn't see it as something very important. But this COVID-19 made us realize the true importance of it and the techniques that is going to enable us not only to prevent this coronavirus, but also to prevent ourselves from other microorganisms around us. Furthermore, pollution. In the activity days before the corona period, the air was polluted, factories were in action, vehicles were plying the road 24/7. There was air pollution everywhere because these vehicles or moving machines were emitting dangerous gases, which we know as carbon dioxide, which not only causes but also causes cases like lung cancer and other respiratory disorders. I'll have mentioned more, like rest, human family burden, but I'll leave my supporting speaker to say all that. Thank you.
There's a saying that goes, when the world gives you lemon, make lemonade out of it.
All protocol duty observed. Standing before His Yes Lord Sharon from Baracha Model College, and I'm here to support the motion which states COVID-19 a blessing and not a burden. Was it not still during this same COVID-19 that greedy politicians were exposed? Those politicians that instead of giving out palliative to the citizens, harbored it for themselves and their family. Our healthcare also improved during this COVID-19. As government could no longer go out of the country to treat themselves, they decided to invest more in our country by providing more facilities and equipment in the hospital for further treatment. Also, during this COVID-19, humanitarian activities increased. It is said that philanthropies all over the world came up to help the needy and the less privileged in providing food, shelter, and provision for them. Also, during this COVID-19, our health sector improved. It is said that those equipment that we did not have in the hospital before, the government had to buy more of those equipment in order to save more lives of people and property. Management of resources was also seen as people learn to manage resources and not to waste them. Even the leftovers that normally people would throw away, they decided to manage it and keep it. Even the industries in Nigeria, since they could not go outside to buy resources, they decided to make use of what they have in Nigeria. At this point, I urge my opponent to drop their argument, as I strongly believe that I am able to convince you without reasonable doubt that COVID-19 is indeed a blessing and not a burden. Thank you.
So, in a nutshell, we could see that COVID-19 is not a burden, but rather a blessing to us in disguise to all mankind. So I urge you all to drop the mentality of saying COVID-19 is a burden, but rather pick the mentality of saying it's a blessing to us all. Thank you all, and a very good afternoon to you.
Yes, that was a nice way of wrapping up the first set of the competition's debate. Ladies and gentlemen, please, let's join our hands together and celebrate all the contestants who've come here to showcase their mental brilliance and acumen. Thank you very much for having the courage to stand there and speak for or speak against. We appreciate you. Merci beaucoup. Very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want us to appreciate our distinguished panel here too for a job well done. Coming back, please give them a round of applause. They'll be coming shortly with the results as we progress with the program. Very distinguished guests here present. Wonderful students from different schools cut across the nation, joining us live, physically and online, maximizing the benefits of the corona pandemic that gives us the opportunity now to enjoy online participation. We welcome you to this August occasion. And we are grateful to our host, Caleb University. Please put your hands together for Caleb University for putting this program together. We also want to thank our wonderful sponsors, Zenith Bank, IBC Bank, UBA, Eco Bank, Fan Milk, Immortal Local Council, Checkers, Right, Golden Penny, The Miller, and others unmentioned. Please put your hands together for them. We appreciate the support for this August and wonderful occasion. It's a competition, the first of its kind, to showcase the brilliance we have among our secondary school students. We are super delighted having you here today. Welcome and enjoy the program as we continue. Bonsoir maintenant à tout le monde. Maintenant, nous voulons dire merci beaucoup à tout le monde pour votre présence ici. Nous sommes ici grâce à Caleb University. Nous voulons dire merci aussi à toutes les organisations qui se trouvent ici pour leur aide. Merci beaucoup à vous aussi pour être ici, parce que si vous n'êtes pas ici, il n'y a pas de programme. Si vous comprenez, il faut applaudir une fois encore, juste une fois. Guten Tag, meine Damen und Herren. Herzlich willkommen zu diesem Programm. Ich freue mich sehr gerne hier zu sein. Und es gibt viele Dinge zu essen, zu trinken, zu hören. Ich wünsche euch ehrlich gesagt eine wunderbare, spannende und unvergessliche Erfahrung. Danke, das ist die Wahrheit. A fẹ́ dúpẹ́ gidigidi lọ́wọ́ gbogbo yín fún àǹfààní aláìlẹ́gbẹ́ tí a ní láti darapọ̀ pẹ̀lú wa ní ìdíje pàtàkì tọjọ́ òní tí Caleb University ṣe ètò ẹ̀ fún wa. A sì dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ gidigidi lọ́wọ́ àwọn organisation bíi Zenith Bank, Stanbic Bank fún àtìlẹ́yìn wọn. Láìsí wọn a lè rówó ná mílíọ̀nù tá à ń san pa a lè fún abẹ́ ẹ̀kọ́. Ẹ dákun ẹ bá mi ṣá wọn látẹ̀wọ́. To yanzu kuna kallo na da mamaki ko an ce wannan program national program ne, an kawo ku daga dukkan bangarorin mu na Nigeria, wato arewacin Najeriya, daga kudancin Najeriya, daga gabashin Najeriya, daga ko'ina mun ji daɗi kwarai da gaske cewa an gayyace ku zuwa wannan taro wadda makarantar university na kalle suka shirya mana. Mun ji daɗin zuwan ku kwarai da gaske, kuma ga kamfanoni kamar Zenith Bank, Stanbic IBTC, UBA da su makamantansu sun bada abin nan gudunmawa. Ana saka musu da alheri, ana su biya bukata. Akoba, Adaba, Olórí ma ce kari. Ụmụnne m ndị Igbo, ama m na ndị Igbo juru ebe a. Ndị Igbo, Igbo kwenu! Ọ na-akpọtụ akpọtụ. Igbo kwenu! Kwezienụ! Akwụnụ na unu. Ebe a ka netwọk juru eju, netwọk juru eju n'ebe ahụ. Netwọk ka na-eme on and off n'ebe ahụ. Igbo kwenu! Kịta kunu bịara. Anyị ji ohere ma na-anabata mmadụ niile na ọgbakọ nkata nke Caleb University haziri. Anyị na-ekelekwa ndị nyere aka dịka Zenith Bank, Stanbic IBTC, UBA, Expo Bank, Fan Milk na ndị ọzọ. Biko kwụranụ ha aka, ha mere ọfụma. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to prolong the discussion, but I'm sure with these few words of mine, I'll be able to convince you and not confuse you that this program is the program to be. My name is Adedeji Odulesi, Master of Ceremony for August auspicious, conspicuous, illustrious, and prestigious occasions. Next, please. Are you feeling me? Are you enjoying me? All right, ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture in the program, it's my pleasure to invite a man of brilliance, erudite man who speaks on national and international platforms. Is the representative, able representative of the guest speaker, Dr. Temitope Fashoranti of the Executive Director, Zenith Bank PLC. Please make welcome Mr. Emmanuel Larry Oladimeji, Group Head, Retail Banking, Zenith Bank. Please give him the applause that is on the Zenith. A Zenith applause. Keep giving the applause till the mouth up here. Yes, Kurani aka ofuma kona akpatu keba na amaji.
Thank you so much, the MC. And yes, good afternoon, everyone. And in fact, I don't know how to start, because what I see today is beyond my expectation. What I see from the students that have come to present here is what anybody can just describe that. What do you want to talk to them about? What I was asked by my line director to speak on is on creative mindset and how to develop one. But the student I saw here, this one already have creative mind though. And I wonder what I will actually be talking to them on. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity for us to be here. And the students have performed so well. So either you win the prize or you don't win the prize, does not really matter. What is important is that enthusiasm that I saw in all of you. The dynamism with which so many of you presented. Some came to the front here, first of all, told us about some things about themselves before they went ahead to even acknowledge or greet the Vice Chancellor and the members of, everybody that is here. Some came, several ways of making presentation. So I must thank the teachers in various schools in which we came from. And I must equally thank the management and staff, especially the Vice Chancellor of Caleb University for this organization, for what you have been able to do today. Thank you so much. So let me just quickly go through what I have because of time, because I'm representing Dr. Temitope Fasoranti, who is an executive director of Zenith Bank. And what I'm supposed to be talking about is developing a creative mindset in the 21st century. The Vice Chancellor, Professor Nosa Owen Ibie, the Registrar, Mr. Mayokun Olumeru, the Senate, management staff, and distinguished participants. I'm very much delighted to be invited to deliver the career lecture for the 2022 Caleb University Career Expo. Indeed, this event presents an enormous platform for the intellectual development of the leaders of tomorrow. I must commend the effort of the management team of Caleb University for organizing this event as part of this institution's National Intellectual Development Program and Corporate Social Responsibility Initiative. It is heartwarming to have secondary school students from various geopolitical zones of the country to engage in an environment like this. It demonstrates their readiness to take on challenges and explore new opportunities. A great future lies ahead of us. The theme for this year's lecture, developing a creative mindset in the 21st century, is apt because it hints at the potentials of students to become solution providers. In this age of rapid technological advancement and innovation, Nigeria's hope of becoming global competitive rests in empowering our students. So I will share briefly just a few thoughts on developing a creative mindset in today's digital environment. So here we come. What does it mean to develop a creative mindset? A creative mind is one that is open to possibilities and not afraid to investigate and try new things. American psychologist Carol Dweck is renowned for the research on concepts of mindset. Through our work, one can describe mindset mindset as a person's set of views or beliefs which have the potential to determine success. She demonstrates that individuals can have a fixed mindset if they believe their success is based on innate abilities, or a growth mindset if they believe their success is based on hard work, learning, and training. Most of the traits for which I've seen in several of the students that came out here to present this afternoon. So, is it possible for a person to have a positive or negative mindset, a winner or a loser mindset? The answer is yes, and the choice is ours. So, what is a creative mindset, and what are its characteristics? A creative mindset refers to a set of beliefs and attitude that favors new ideas, innovative solutions, and problem solving. It requires enormous effort to develop a creative mindset, since it is not the natural tendency for an average person. The effort must not only be enormous, but consistent. So why do we need to develop a creative mindset? One, without a creative mindset, human beings will not be able to solve their personal challenges, like providing for themselves, shelter, food, and clothing. We also rely on human creativity to solve problems in the society. Human beings play an enormous role in the transition from Stone Age to the industrial era. We moved from the first industrial revolution, where water and steam powers and merchandise production, to the second revolution, where electric powers was used for mass production. Then the third revolution, characterized by electronics and information technology to automate production. And then the fourth revolution, which is the revolution of the digital technology where we are in. So the 21st century as an information technology is one of the key things that we will be discussing under the creative mindset. Under the information age, having understood what a creative mindset is and why we need to develop it, we need to understand that the 21st century, we need to equally understand the 21st century so that we'll be aware of the major trends. The 21st century is characterized by a rapid shift from traditional industry to the information technology. The information age has affected workforce in several ways, such as compelling workers to compete for a global job market and replacement of human labor by computers and robots. We know now that if you are looking for work anywhere in the world, from the comfort of your home, I heard when the Google team was speaking to us, from the comfort of your home, you can be employed without knowing anybody and without proud notice of this is what we want to do. Just go to the website and then you see available opportunities and you can just begin to tap into them. Digital transformation and digital economy. One of the key ways in which we can we can be creative and open our mind. Information and communication technology, ICT, that is computers, computerized machinery, fiber optics, communications satellites, the internet, etc., have become a significant part of the world economy. That today, without these tools, nothing can actually be done. This is what we call the digital transformation era. Digitalization can be adopted in various sectors: financial services, agriculture, manufacturing, education, and the likes. In the financial sector where I work, banks and fintechs have leveraged digital services to completely modernize customer experience. New levels of convenience, speed, and security are now a reality. And as a result of the use of smart devices, computer and platform to serve customers. Some of the common solutions currently deployed are the USSD. With the USSD, you don't even need the internet for you to actually do banking transactions. mobile apps, web platforms, application programming, and of course, decentralized finance. Decentralized finance is becoming so popular now to the extent that the banks are even being very wary that people can actually transact among themselves, not only locally, but anywhere in the world, without the need of the banks. You can do whatever you want to do via decentralized finance, transfer money, do anything, without the need of the banks. So using digital resources to develop a creative mindset. We have understood what a creative mindset is and how important it is for solving individual and communal challenges. However, many people want to be creative or more creative, and almost as many have given up by wrongfully assuming that being creative is just not for them. While these people absolutely have what it takes to be creative, they need to take more essential steps. Fortunately, in the digital age, there are digital resources with just a click for you to leverage so many of the solutions that I've mentioned. You can look at the website to equally expand your creativity. Surfing the web helps you to build a creative mindset. Seeing what is happening in other parts of the world, expand your mind. The ideas that other creative people have come up with might just challenge your creativity and give you the inspiration to develop a solution to a problem right where you are. Developing applications, we call them apps. So many of us must have listened to presentation through the TED platforms, must have listened to presentations through Brain Sparker, where mindset can be creatively developed. Digital libraries. Today, people don't even go to physical library again. With digital library, it is one of the resources, those resources that can help you keep the brain engaged to be creative and open to new ideas. Read books and current emerging trends all over the world. They will help you to open your mind and make you be more and very creative. Opportunity for the creative mind in the infotech century. As mentioned earlier, the global digital economy holds enormous potentials. Nigeria's growing digital economy is positioning to be a major contributor to the entrepreneurship and job creation, especially for young Nigerians. Nigeria's tech sector has also witnessed substantial growth in the educational technology, edutech, agricultural technology, agritech, health technology, health tech, e-commerce, and transport sector. Another way in which you can have or develop your creative mindset is to be involved in coding and digital entrepreneurs. One of the strongest indicators of the vibrancy of Nigerian tech industry is the interest among young Nigerians in coding, that is, writing programs for apps, websites, and softwares. The growth of developer community and tech hubs has supported the emergence of several tech startups in Nigeria. We are all aware of what the likes of Paystack and the like of Flutterwave have been able to do. In 2020, Stripe, the Irish-American financial services and software company, paid $200 million to acquire Paystack. Flutterwave, another fintech that is bred from the Nigerian soil, raised $170 million in 2021. Because of the nature of my work, let me just explain a bit what I've just said. What is Paystack and what is Flutterwave actually doing? The same thing that people have been doing for years, the same thing that banks have been doing for years. And that is simplifying the way businesses are done. I am a merchant. I sell products. And I want people or anyone to connect with me, buy my products online, and be able to make payments seamlessly. What banks have been doing, the traditional responsibility of banks. And what these guys have done is to do what? Digitize it by being very, very creative. By being creative. So I want to enjoin all of you to please continue to do what you are doing, to listen, to ensure that you finish your studies. For every young person, I say the future is ahead of you and is very bright. I encourage you to stay in school and finish your studies. Use the tools around you, including the internet, the library, apps, to develop a creative mindset. Refuse to have a fixed mindset which does not seek new ways to improve life. According to Edward Bono, the famous physician, psychologist, inventor, who originated the term lateral thinking and was shortlisted for the Nobel Prize in Economics in 2005. Creativity involves breaking out of the established pattern in order to look things in a different way. When combined with positive attitude, you can achieve anything with a creative mindset. So thank you so much and good afternoon. Again, I am so happy to be here. Initially, I thought maybe I came so early, but all I've listened to here, the presentation was not only worthwhile, but it even encouraged me as a person. There's a particular book I used to recommend to most of the intakes that we have in Zenith when I go to give them lectures. It is written by Napoleon Hill, and it is called Think and Grow Rich. Has any one of you read the book? Oh, some. That's very good. Think and Grow Rich was written by an American. He died several years ago. And that's one of the key things that we are saying. Books can open up your mind. People that you can even never thought of meeting in life, you meet them. In the Think and Grow Rich, he talk about so many things in life that we as human beings can use to achieve success. He mentioned about 17 principles of success. The first principle is definiteness of purpose. You must be definite in anything you want to do in life. So I encourage you to be definite in whatever you want to do. And he mentioned several other success principles. And the last one was money. So don't put money as the number one principle of your life. Money will always come. So I encourage you to read the book, and everything you want in life is in that book. Thank you so much and good afternoon. And as part of my own contribution, in addition to what the bank have done, I'm going to buy 10 hard copies of the book and send to the Vice Chancellor. Thank you so much.
Well, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please let's put our hands together again for Mr. Emmanuel Lanre Oladimeji, Group Head, Retail Banking, able, available, dependable, commendable representative of the guest speaker, Dr. Temitope Fashoranti, Executive Director, Zenith Bank PLC. A round of applause once again for him. Thank you very much for that delivery. He's told us many things, how we should maximize the opportunities, gigantic opportunity in the digital space, and he's told us that even giving example of organizations like Flutterwave, etc., that became very wealthy because they were smart, they maximized the digital space. All right, moving forward, very distinguished guest, I have a number of schools I'm still going to come up, and I'm going to speak for just 3 minutes. They're going to come up here, we're maximizing time. Please make welcome as I invite them wherever they are, they come and find the space here. Radiance High School, two students from Radiance High School. Please join me all together for them as they come up. Radiance High School. Oh, only one. Radiance High School. Radiance High School. All right, up next, Honest Group of Schools. One representative, Honest Group of Schools. Where are they? Yes, just come up there. Strong Tower Academy. A round of applause for them. One representative from Strong Tower. Ronick Comprehensive School. One representative. A round of applause for Ronick. Over there, yes. Crown Jewel College. A round of applause for one representative. Crown Jewel. Isolog College. One representative there. Then Baptist Girls Academy. One representative. Baptist Girls Academy. One representative. And last but not the least, Kingsfield College. One representative. All right. So I'll be starting with the first. You may choose to speak for, you may speak against, but first on the list, I would like to call on Radiance High School, your representative. Please walk up. Brixley, you are doing 3 minutes. Radiance High School, yes, come up. Please put your hands together for Radiance High School. Is that? Oh, it's the same debate. You didn't prepare. Yes. Just say.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, our dear moderator, and ladies and gentlemen, my name is Annie Sharon. I am representative of Radiance High School, Festac Town, Lagos, and I'm here to support the motion which says COVID-19, a blessing and not a burden. In life, you can either decide to see your cup as half empty or half full. Anyone that has decided to see the COVID-19 as a burden has decided to see their cup as half empty, but I have decided to see my cup as half full. Although the COVID-19 destabilized a lot of things in the world, it's also opened our eyes to see different ways of doing many things. What's COVID-19? COVID-19, as we all know, is an infectious disease that can be spread through touching dirty surfaces and inhaling of droplets suspended in the atmosphere. Now, COVID-19 was a blessing in many aspects of life. First of all, we can, as fellow participants mentioned, family bonding. COVID-19 gave us the opportunity for gave families opportunities to bond. Parents got to understand their children more. Children got to understand their parents more. Parents actually got to be parents to their children and not absentee parents, as they could no longer give excuses of work keeping them from home. As we all know, family is the unity of the nation. So if families around the nation bonded, we can say that the whole world bonded. Another aspect of life that COVID-19 was a blessing was in the aspect of vaccine development. Before now, it took decades, it took years for scientists, vaccine developers to be able to develop effective vaccines for diseases. But due to the urgency of the COVID-19, scientists were able to come together to develop an effective vaccine that benefited every single one of us. Tell me that's not a breakthrough in medicine. It's a breakthrough in medicine that benefits each and every one of us. Thank you very much.
Let's give Radiance a round of applause. Up next, you are doing 2 minutes. You are doing 2 minutes. Honors Group of Schools, your representative. Honors Group of Schools. Please give Honors Schools a round of applause. We are doing 2 minutes. You could choose to speak for, you could speak against.
Coronavirus disease 2019, also known as COVID-19, is a novel infectious disease which hit the world with a big bang in the year 2019. Good day, Mr. Moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and my ever-attentive audience. Standing before you is Judge the Precious Oluwatimileyin, which according to my name means God is with me. I'm here to support the motion which states COVID-19 is a blessing and not a burden. As you can see, I am from Oma's group of schools, and I'm going to convince you beyond your doubts. During the era of coronavirus, a lot of people were scared and it was as if the whole world has come to a standstill. But let me shock you that not only has coronavirus given us blessings, it has indeed added benefits and advantages to Nigeria and the world as a whole. Coronavirus, according to the World Health Organization, which is WHO, has said that over 70% of medical practitioners were determined, give their effort and time in order to find the cure for coronavirus, of which they were able to achieve. Through determination, success can be achieved. Now, going to the educational sector, COVID-19 proved that education can be improved through online learning, online business, e-commerce, and so on. According to NASA, which is the National Aeronautic and Space Agency, and even ASA, the European Space Agency, has said that air pollution was reduced from 70% to 30% all over epicenters, which are full of COVID-19. In fact, not only COVID-19 has been a blessing, it's in fact been an advantage and a benefit to humanity and the world as a whole. COVID-19 has proved to us that it can be improved educationally, psychologically, socially, in fact, it's proved to us that can be economically, financially, socially, educationally, and it has proved to us that through this COVID-19, we can be up to market and humanity as a whole. I believe I've convinced you beyond reasonable doubt that COVID-19 is indeed a blessing and not a burden. Thank you very much.
Favor, thank you very much. Even me says I'm favored. Ladies and gentlemen, bringing up next is Strong Tower Academy. Represents a Strong Tower. Yes, welcome Brixley, Strong Tower. Come and give us your strong points. For or against?
Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, and ladies and gentlemen in this amazing hall. My name is Desiree Luabamtef, and I'm a representative of Strong Tower Academy. I'm here to propose the motion that COVID-19 was a blessing and not a burden. COVID-19, a global pandemic that took the world by storm in 2019 and came into full effect in March 2020 in Nigeria, took the entire world by surprise. It put the economy on pause, and it was something that nobody expected or planned for. Advanced nations were shaken by this pandemic. First point supporting the motion that COVID-19 was a blessing is that it brought about greater awareness to the Nigerian populace about the importance of technological advancements in areas such as medicine, business, finance, and education. Before COVID-19, Nigeria was very much behind in terms of technological advancements. COVID-19, the pandemic, was a rude awakening for some Nigerians, but a very much needed one. Now in 2022, we can see that there's been a significant increase and improvement in the educational sector, finance, and as it has gone from offline activities to online. We can learn comfortably from our homes online, and instead of waiting in long lines at the bank, we can simply do banking activities from our phones. COVID-19 also impacted Nigeria and the world as a whole positively in the fact that it created stronger interactions between countries. During COVID-19, during that trying era of the pandemic, countries had no one to rely on.
You have 30 seconds to go.
They had to rely on themselves, so it created a stronger bond and improved international relations. Thank you.
Thank you, Strong Tower, for your strong points. Up next is Ronick Comprehensive School. Ronick! A round of applause for Ronick as they come up. Ronick, come and give us the tonic.
Good day, Mr. Moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, fellow students, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Onyekachi Uche. I'm representing Roni Comprehensive School, Ejibo, and I'm here to oppose the motion that COVID-19 a blessing, not a burden. Before I start, I would like to define to us what is COVID-19. COVID-19 is a potentially primarily severe respiratory disease caused by a coronavirus, and it is characterized by cough, fever, and shortness of breath. It was first discovered in Wuhan, China in 2019, and by 2020, it had become pandemic. Wow. Now, it is indeed very evident in every aspect of our lives that COVID-19 was a burden in every aspect of our life, both individually and the country at large. My first point that I would like to state here is that during the COVID-19 lockdown, many lives were lost. Now, we talk about people who lost their lives not only to COVID-19 itself, but to the poverty, the starvation, the hunger that this thing brought to our land. Many people died from it. Statistics show that 3,000 people die in a day in Nigeria out of poverty. Can we please imagine what it was like during the COVID-19 period, where people did not have food to eat, where people had nothing to, some people were hopeless. My second point that I would like to state here was that during this COVID-19 period, teachers were poorly paid, and some not even paid at all. Imagine, this question is directed to my panel of judges.
To go.
How would you cope if you were the breadwinner of a family and you had you had dependent relatives on you? How would you cope with the COVID-19 pandemic? How will you be able to feed your families? This shows evidence beyond reasonable doubt that COVID-19 was indeed a burden and not a blessing. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ronik, for that tonic. Up next is Crown Jewel College. A round of applause for them, Crown Jewel College. Please come and crown the discussion at this point. A round of applause once again.
As at January 2020, there were a total of 557 cases. As at the end of 2020, the numbers increased drastically and became over 83 million cases. At the end of 2021, there were over 228 million cases. At the end of currently, there are now 504 million cases. Why would you say that COVID-19 has done more good than harm to us? Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, my accurate timekeeper, my co-debaters, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ibeziako Joan. I am a student of Crown Jewel College. I stand before you this day to refuse the motion which states that COVID-19 is a blessing and not a burden. The World Health Organization declared the new wave of infection with predominantly respiratory system syndrome a pandemic on March 11, 2020, with most countries reporting increasing numbers of morbidity and mortality rates. COVID-19 has affected us all, but in different ways. To some of us, it may be a way to unwind in the safety of our homes whenever the people we love. We are sheltered and safe with enough resources to keep us healthy, contented and entertained. But however, this was not the case to some other people. Every day of the quarantine, the poor struggle to survive. Without a source of living, they need to depend on the government and other people's help to live. Even with the instruction the government had imposed, many still gambled with their lives and went outside. Why? Because they need to earn, because they need to survive. They did not only put their health into harm's way, but they also left their families exposed to the virus. It's very easy for us to point fingers and accuse them of endangering our nation, but are they really to blame? No! This crisis brought more disadvantages to us than advantages. It has led to a high rate of psychological trauma with those trying to help the loss of a loved one or a family member. COVID-19 played a vital role in bringing to understanding easier ways of technology, but yes, I agree, but this did not serve an advantage to all because not everyone had access to technology like we did. Most of the time we judge situations by how it affected us individually, and the whole economy.
Thank you. Thank you
very much for listening.
Very much.
A round of applause for Crown Jewel College. Now we have the sixth participant here, Isola College. President, please come up. Isola College, Baptist Girls Academy and Kingsfield, please be getting set. 2 minutes.
In recent times,
The world has experienced a ravaging disease which has caused the most busy cities to be quiet. A pandemic which has limited social interactions among family members, close ones, and friends. A plague which has caused a face mask and hand sanitizer to be the most important things. This ravaging disease, this pandemic, this plague is no other than the noble coronavirus. It would be unethical for me to go on without first acknowledging the presence of the respected authorities. This is why I say, good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, accurate and co-debaters, and my ever-listening audience. My name is Olugui Joshua, a student of the prestigious Isolo College, and I'm opposed to the notion which says COVID-19, a blessing and not a burden. Before going deeply into this topic, I would first like to examine what COVID-19 is. According to the World Health Organization, WHO, COVID-19 is an infectious disease caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus. COVID-19 has left no corner of the world untouched, with about 480 million cases recorded worldwide and 6.21 million deaths. There is no doubt that the problems created by COVID-19 are much more greater than the insignificant advantages few people may have enjoyed as a result of this virus. This is why calling COVID-19 a burden is an understatement. A catastrophic and chaotic experience would have been a better term to describe this pandemic. Health-wise, COVID-19 caused a lot of problems as it puts pressure on health and medical facilities all over the world. There was no longer space in hospital wards for the accommodation of newly infected patients, and isolation centers were in great shortage. This led to the government of countries like Nigeria turning places with no formal health relations into isolation centers. For example, was the Onikon Stadium in Lagos and the This Day Dome in Abuja, which was formerly a center for social gatherings and events. COVID-19 made nonsense of those countries who thought they had high-ranking medical facilities that could combat any virus. And this then brought all countries to the same level, bringing the developed countries to the level of advanced countries. COVID-19 created a lot of problems, and it caused a lot of damages which are unrecoverable.
Time's up.
At this point of time, I hope I've given you a new mindset.
Thank you very much.
As not a blessing, but as a burden it truly is. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Isolog, for isolating all the doubts. Up next is Baptist Girls Academy. A round of applause for Baptist Girls Academy as they come up. Yes, we need your input in a baptismal level.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, panel of judges, timekeeper, and co-debaters, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Sarah Oshisonya from Baptist Girls Academy, Obanikoro, and I'm here to argue against the motion which says COVID-19, a blessing, not a burden. First off, what is a burden? A burden is a difficult situation that is hard to bear or difficult and causes unwanted trouble. Now, the COVID-19 pandemic was a burden for a number of reasons. First off was the economic depression that it brought. A number of countries around the world were greatly affected, had their economies greatly affected by the pandemic because they couldn't cater for the development of their countries because they had to move into the health sector, take care of the COVID patients, and all of that. Imagine a country like Nigeria that is already going through issues and challenges like inflation, bad government, corruption, and all the like, having to deal with a sudden outbreak of an infectious disease like COVID-19. Of course, the effect was devastating. And that's just to say that developing countries around the world like Nigeria also faced the same thing and couldn't cater for their citizens properly. Second off is the increased cost of healthcare. The World Health Organization remarked that the pandemic actually affected a lot of health systems and made them to stretch beyond
30 seconds to go.
They ended up spending so much money on the healthcare sector, and a lot of patients who were non-COVID patients ended up not being treated properly. Imagine a patient that is suffering from kidney stones that's supposed to go through dialysis, being treated as a second patient because a COVID patient has to be treated first. That person would be suffering in a lot of pain.
Your time's up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Baptist Girls Academy. Last but not least for this session is the representative from Kingsfield College. A round of applause. The king is coming. The field is yours. Take over.
Good day, Mr. Chairman, Passion Panel of Judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debaters, and my distinguished audience. My name is Evelyn David. I'm a representative of Kingsfield College. I'm here to support the mission which states COVID-19 a blessing, not a burden. Everyone is wondering, how is COVID-19 a blessing? I would like to make reference to the Chinese proverb, yin and yang, which states, nothing is entirely bad, nothing is entirely good. In something bad, there's something good. In something good, there's something bad. A person cannot be entirely bad and good. Before now, trading activities were mainly done physically. But at the advent of COVID-19, restrictions were placed on physical activities and trading activities, and also led to an increase in mortality rate. But instead, COVID-19 also provided a lot of opportunities for us. Let's look at e-commerce. E-commerce industry started around the early 2000, from 2000 to 2020, and it was rated at 16%. According to statistics by the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, e-commerce grew in 3% spike in the 3 months of COVID-19, and all e-commerce organizations experienced a 20.5 total increase in income earned. Now, I had my opponent from one of the schools say COVID-19 has cost more, taking more lives. But I tell you, COVID-19 took more lives. In this year, COVID-19 recorded 500 million plus cases, 6 million deaths, and a lot of recoveries. Now, it's taking away from 2000 to 2017, we had a large record of deaths, and only in 2017, US had 2 million deaths. Right now, the amount of deaths caused by COVID-19 was not even up to half of the world's population compared to the amount of deaths that happened in 2017, which was not due to any pandemic, but due to accident, suicide, and whatsoever. Now, may I continue? Yes, COVID-19 also has helped us accomplish self-fulfillment, self-consciousness, and self-awareness. I was a person that always wanted to learn keyboard, but I never had the chance when I was in school physically. As I went home, 20 seconds to go. As I went home, I learned the keyboard very well and I could play perfectly. So I hope with this 3-point mind, I've been to firmly affirm the resolution that COVID-19 is still a blessing and still is a blessing. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kingsfield. You have acted like a king and you have taken over the field. A round of applause for him once again. And to all the 8 people who've come up, please put your hands together for them. Brilliant performance there. Thank you. All right, very distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we want to proceed and listen to the final round of the debate. So I'll be calling on Professor Oguniro Kehinde, the Dean, College of Pure and Applied Sciences, to please come up. Please put your hands together for Prof. He's been doing an amazing work. The Vice Chancellor, sir.
I want you to please stand up. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, please stand up. The Registrar, I want you to please clap for these students, these great Nigerian futures. Thank you so much, sir. This is the highest honor I can give you. I can see here that this country has a great future. We have people. And at the same time, I want to thank the teachers. Teachers, wherever you are, please stand up. Teachers, please, you have done a great job. You have done wonderfully well to tutor these ones to this level. And I can see that these are representative of all of them sitting down here. We thank you very much for your presentations. But at the same time, I can say that all of you are qualified to be in the second round. But we have to limit it to the price available. So please, if your school, your name of your school is not announced, please don't feel bad. So at this junction, the panel of judges have done the great job by looking through all of you, using one parameter or the other, and then we have come up with 4 schools. So the next stage, the school that will go to the next stage are the following. Before I announce the school that will go to the next stage, you have only 2 minutes. 2 minutes, only one representative from that school will come forward. So I will advise you to select the best candidate among you. If you can consult your teacher now, you can do that. So the best school, the first 4 schools are, we have, are you with me, students? We have Dancer High School. Dancer High School. Dancer High School. Then we have a Baptist Academy. Baptist Academy. Then we have African Church Model College. African Church Model College. Then we have Barache Model College. Barache Model College. These are the 4 schools selected. The 4 schools selected. Now we have please, where are they? Please, can you select yourself and come forward, please? Only one candidate, only one. The name of your school? Dancehall High School. The next one. We have only 2 minutes. 4 of them should stand here. 2 minutes. Baptist Academy. Okay. African Church Model. Then Barache Model College. Now we have just 2 minutes.
Good day, esteemed panel of judges, ladies and gentlemen. I'm speaking against the motion COVID-19, a blessing, not a burden. Now the effect of COVID-19 was bad that the great committee Ali Baba said would cheat even enemies. You say, my opponents say that COVID-19 has helped with environmental certification and environmental conservation, but at the expense of 6 million lives, is it really worth it? We could have all be out as well, be out there, clean our environment ourselves. Look at the nose mask that we are wearing. They are not even comfortable. God never created it for us to wear these things on our faces. Even scientists have been able to say that across the next few years, we will see the negative impact of wearing nose masks because we are taking carbon dioxide back into our body systems. Every one of us deep down inside is still afraid, worried whether the COVID-19 pandemic will come back with a bigger variant, more dangerous. And you say it is not emotionally and mentally burdening us. COVID-19 is a burden. It is not a blessing. You said it stopped the emission of carbon dioxide because industries were out. Meanwhile, it's run down our economy. This same carbon dioxide we're still breathing back in while wearing nose masks. So how did it make a difference? The COVID-19 only compounded our problems, caused pain and suffering for people, caused the loss of lives, caused people to jump into dead mainland because they had no other option.
30 seconds to go.
E-commerce has always existed, and COVID-19 did not improve it. Actually made it worse, shipping and wrong sizes. As far as I'm concerned, even you know it, COVID-19 is a burden. It is not a blessing. It did not help us. It did not solve any of our problems. I don't know what type of blessing causes people to die, causes people to lose their loved ones. COVID-19, I put my foot down and say it's a burden, not a blessing. Thank you.
COVID-19 indeed has actually affected our environment. People on the other side may actually say that the COVID-19 has increased the health sector or helped the health sector. But I'm here to actually tell you that the COVID-19 has affected the environment negatively due to the fact that you who are using nose masks and sanitizer actually wouldn't dispose these things properly. You can go outside now, outside the school premises actually, and look outside the road. You will be able to see, at least in most of the drainages, you could see hand sanitizers, bottles, and face masks that are littered everywhere. A report from kff.org states that in 10 individuals, 4 actually complain of depressive disorder and anxiety. This is actually blamed and caused on the COVID-19. In the USA and in Nigeria, actually, there has been an increase in the intake of drugs, an increase in the intake of substances, and adults have been complaining that they have difficulty sleeping and difficulty eating. These are actually blamed and problems which we are facing from the COVID-19. The COVID-19 indeed has actually caused us to have mad hunger. I want to put you that right now in Sudan, as we are all standing here, over 70% of the population of Sudan are suffering from severe hunger, and this will be increased and added to the current 169 people who are facing severe hunger. 135 people currently are facing and suffering from acute food insecurity, and you sit down there and actually tell me that the COVID-19 is a blessing. I'm here to actually put it to you that the COVID-19, beyond no reasonable doubt, has been a burden to us. Thank you.
The darkest nights produce the brightest stars. Ladies and gentlemen, I am here once again to buttress on my point, COVID-19, a blessing and not a burden. The COVID-19 has made people to be more closer to God. Families had enough time to study and meditate on the word of God in order to strengthen their faith. People all over the world thought the world was coming to an end, but this brought the realization to man that man needed divine assistance. The COVID-19 exposed the weakness of the government, especially in developing countries. The COVID-19 allowed the people to raise and challenge the government against unfavorable policies made against them. The COVID-19 revealed the lack of the government in funding the health sector and other major infrastructure. The COVID-19 has also reduced the financial recklessness of people around the world. Countries like Nigeria and other African countries who are known for their impulsive spending from wedding ceremonies, burials, and other activities was greatly reduced. Dear panel of judges, I will not be asking for too much if I would ask, did you not make use of the Zoom during the pandemic? The COVID-19 has therefore led to the massive growth in technology. The COVID-19 has fast-tracked our journey into digital revolution with advancement in artificial intelligence, scientific discoveries, and technology. I conclude in the word of Zig Ziglar: a positive mind finds opportunity in every situation, while a negative mind finds fault in every situation. COVID-19, a blessing and not a burden indeed. Thank you.
All protocol duly observed. I'm here again, and my name is Adba Odokas. I'm also here again to stand in support of the motion which says COVID-19, a blessing, not a burden. As I was saying earlier about pollution, I mentioned air pollution, but let's talk about the water aspect. In the rural areas, take for example, whereby people don't have easy access to pipe water. Instead, take the source of drinking from the rivers, whereby organizations which are funded into such area deposit their toxic chemicals into such rivers, which doesn't only affect the sea organisms, but also humans, causing severe cases like cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, typhoid, etc. Do we say that this is a body? Because I say no. Because during this corona period, such organizations weren't functioning. They were no longer depositing their toxic chemicals into the rivers. They could not function because of this lockdown period, thereby reducing the rate every year of waterborne disease. Also I'll talk about family harmony. During this corona period, whereby people had time to talk together, bond together, marriages which were going down the drain were able to stand back, and there was love once again in the family. With this a blessing to also rest. Having a 6 to 8 job or a 7 to 8 job doesn't give you enough rest, does it? It doesn't make you think about yourself. Instead, you have to wake up in the morning, go to work, come back late, and the same routine over and over again. But during this corona period, we're able to sit down and determine your future properly. We're able to think meticulously of how to move a step ahead of everybody. Also, I urge everybody to drop their opinion saying that COVID-19 is a burden, because I don't see this as a burden whereby our country technology has improved. Because during this corona period, it made people realize that we are not an island. Because India, which we did see that. So I hope with these few points of mine, I'll be able to convince you and win you over that COVID-19 is a blessing in disguise to us and not a burden. Thank you.
Thank you very much. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together for them. Yorubas will say that Abinibi Jukini, Abinibi Shekini, Ojuability. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant performance there. At this juncture, we need to appreciate our sponsors from the Zenith to the Miller. Want to appreciate them. It's my pleasure on this occasion to invite the Director of Brands, Partnership and Linkages, Mr. Bimbola Ululesi. A round of applause for him as he comes up for the awards. The Vice Chancellor, sir. The Deputy Vice Chancellor, Risa. The Registrar. Our guest speaker, ably represented by Mr. Oladimeji. The powerful team from Zenith Bank. The representative of the chairman in Imota local government. Our beloved students. Please, can you put a round of applause for yourselves? Give yourself a round of applause. My duty here is very simple, and we are presenting awards to our sponsors. Without them, honestly speaking, I don't know how we would have been able to host this program. Once again, please put your hands together to recognize our sponsors. I want to call on my Vice Chancellor, Professor Nosa Owens Ibie, who will please give the awards to our deserving sponsors. And so, I want to call on Mr. Oladimeji to receive the award for Zenith Bank.
All right, thank you very much. On behalf of University, I want to appreciate your gesture in supporting this program and to present to you, therefore, this token of our appreciation. Thank you very much. Oh, okay. All right. And this certificate. All right, thank you. All right. Which is the next one?
Next on the list is our beloved host LCDA, Imota Local Government Development Area.
Well, we want to thank you for giving us land to have the university. You've been very wonderful as a host community. On behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present this plaque to Imota. And this certificate too You notice I say to Imota, not just the council. And this gift too. All right, thank you.
Next is Millers. Most of you have been taking the peanuts. Peanuts from Miller's farm. Miller's farm. Let's put hands together for them.
All right, thank you for your wonderful gifts. On behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present this plaque, the certificate, and the bag of goodies to the Millers. Congratulations. Thanks for supporting us. Thanks a lot.
We have next EcoBank. EcoBank was the first to respond to our request for sponsorship. Please put hands together for them.
Where is EcoBank? They are not
EcoBank
here.
representative.
Okay, who wants to start working in EcoBank right now so I can give the person the gifts? All right, so we'll keep this one. You want to take it? All right, please come. So, your next salary will come from EcoBank. Well, on behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present this to the representative of EcoBank for their support for this very wonderful activity. Congratulations. Thank you.
Next is Right Foods. Right Foods. They give us the color, the biggie, and everything you can think of.
Okay, they call it as gala. I mean, it's Biggie. It's Biggie.
They give us
So where are the Biggie people?
Right Foods.
They are not here.
They've been here all along.
The one that has
Representative of Right
enjoyed...
Foods.
You want to give it to the one who has enjoyed the Biggie the most? So who has enjoyed the Biggie the most? So we can give that to the person. All right, on behalf of Caleb University, we appreciate the Right Foods for their support. Is there any other one? Yes, sir. Okay.
Checkers Custard. Checkers Custard, representative of Checkers Custard, please. Please put hands together as they come forward.
All right. So, on behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present this plaque, this certificate, and this bag of goodies to Checkers Custard. Thank you very much for your support. All right.
Next is UBA. UBA, representative of UBA Bank.
The other one. All right. On behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present this plaque, the certificate, and the bag of goodies to the United Bank of Africa. I think they are helping to keep us united, Abby. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Next is Golden Penny Foods. Golden Penny Foods. Please put your hands together for them as they come forward in their golden attire. Golden Penny.
All right. All right, thank you. So, on behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present this plaque, this certificate, and this bag of goodies to Golden Penny Foods. Thank you very much for supporting us. God bless you. All right.
Next is Fan Milk PLC.
Crown, eh?
Fan Milk PLC. Their representative is here to collect on behalf of Fan Milk PLC. Fan Milk PLC. They have been very supportive.
The good thing about this award is that at least I know where some people will get the next salary. On behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present this plaque, this certificate, and this bag of goodies to Farm Milk. Congratulations.
This special award is for the polyglots.
Okay. All right.
I hope you know who a polyglot is.
The one, no, okay. No.
Polyglots.
Okay, so a polyglot is somebody who can speak many languages.
Please put your hands together for Adedeji Odulesi.
So, well, something happened when he was moderating. Okay. When he was speaking in English, I wasn't too bothered because the points he made, I really didn't, take too much, but I enjoyed everything he was saying. But when he spoke French, I agreed with the points. And I told the DVC researcher, I said, I agree with that point. He said, what did he say? And I didn't need to continue at that point. When he spoke Igbo, also I agreed with him. And Hausa and Yoruba, I agree with all of them. But what he was saying, I really do not know. On behalf of everybody, you can see they've given you a round of applause. Okay, this is the brother. He is also a Olulesi. He is Mr. Olulesi, Bimbola Olulesi. So, you know, one of the things that happen is that when a member of the family is successful, everybody will identify. So, on behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present this. Congratulations. Guys, let's face the camera. All right, congrats. Okay.
Next is Stanbic IBTC. Stanbic IBTC.
Are they here?
Stanbic IBTC is being represented for the award.
I wish the bossa were here, really. I mean, it would have really helped. It's going to help us a lot. So, on behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present these gifts to you. You are now working in Stanbic IBTC, so congratulations for the new job. God bless you. Congrats. All right.
Last but not the least is Right Foods. Their foods are always right. Okay. So, the representative.
All right. So on behalf of Caleb University, it's my delight to present these gifts to the representative of Right Food for giving us the right food to take. Congratulations. All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a big thank you to our Vice Chancellor, Professor Nosa, ONCBA for that presentation. Please put your hands together for him. And a big round of applause for all of our sponsors for accepting to grace this occasion. Please put your hands together for them. And of course, our amiable guest speaker, Mr. Emmanuel Lanre Oladimeji, for being a good representative. A round of applause for him. I'm not doing the work of a vote of the best to do vote of thanks to. I'm just appreciating them before the vote of thanks is done. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a wonderful time of competition, showing brilliance from different selected schools. And of course, the results will be coming up shortly. May I at this point invite to come up stage once again, the Dean, College of Pure and Applied Sciences, Professor Ogbuniro Kehinde. A round of applause for him, ladies and gentlemen, as he comes forward.
I want to invite Mr. Emmanuel Oladimeji to please come forward. And at the same time, I want to invite the last 4 speakers to please come and stand here. Please come forward. Sir, you have to announce. You have to announce.
Stand up.
Okay, good afternoon again. And thank you up till this moment. So we have come to the point where we want to announce the winners of the brief competition that we held. At the 4th position is Dansol High School. Who is Dansol? For panel of
do this, or you will do it. I'm supporting you now.
Okay, this is the award for the 4th position. And on behalf of Caleb University and the sponsors, I present this to Dancehall High School. Okay. Okay, at the second position is I'm sorry. Okay. At the third position is Baptist Academy. Again, on behalf of the sponsors and Caleb University, I present this award to Baptist Academy. Thank you so much. And the second position goes to Barachel Model College. Well done. Thank you. Okay, we have come to the final. And the best of the best, the number one position goes to the African Church Model College.
To be the best, number one and nothing less. Lead me to my destiny. I've waited patiently. For the champions, stand up, stand up, stand up. For the champions, stand up. For the champions, stand up, stand up, stand up. For the champions, stand up. Here we go, it's getting close. Now it's just who wants it most. It's just like that's how it is. Cause we have our strengths and weaknesses. Oh, I have vision, can't you see? Move, make way for me. Stand up for the champions, stand up. Stand up, stand up, for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up. To pick myself back up. When I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. When I fall down, I have to pick myself back up. When I fall down, I have to pick myself up. Stand up. For the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up. For the champions, for the champions. Stand up. To my destiny, I have waited patiently. I have vision where I know I can kill. So stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up, stand up, stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
Thank you very much. I want the Vice Chancellor, Zenith Bank, and the champion and the registrar. Vice Chancellor, Zenith Bank representative, and Zenith Bank representative, and the champions. Let's have it. The chief judge of the competition, you can join us. We will see where this, let's have it, put it on it, hold it. So let's have this picture, the Zenith Bank, the Vice Chancellor, the Registrar, and the Chief Judge of this competition. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Can we have just the Zenith? Can we have the Zenith Bank representative and the Vice Chancellor? Just the Zenith Bank and the champion. Zenith Bank representative and the Vice Chancellor and it. Don't go. Let us have the closing remarks.
I have to pick myself up. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up for the champions, for the champions. Stand up.
Thank you very much. Can we have the committee members? Don't go. Now we see the presentation of the actual checks to the winners. Can we have the committee members? The committee members, very quickly, the committee members with the Zenith, and of course the committee members. The committee members.
For the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Stand up. For the champions, for the champions. Stand up. Stand up. For the champions, for the champions. Champions, for the champions. Stand up.
Vote of thanks. Vote of thanks.
Please don't go yet.
Please don't go yet. We have some announcements to make.
It's just like
We have some announcements to make.
we have our strengths and weaknesses.
We have an announcement to make towards the next round of debates. Don't go yet. The Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Nosa Wensibie, the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Research, Innovation, Strategy and Administration, Dr. Sokwe Fashoroti, Executive Director, Zenith Bank, ably represented by the Group Head Retail Banking, Mr. Oladimeji, the deans that are still around, the HODs, staff of this university, Caleb, including the security consultant, CP Benga Sadiku, retired, all the students of Caleb here present and here functioning. We want to appreciate everyone for the roles they played during this event. We want to thank especially the marketing committee that has put this program together. We appreciate all members of the committee. We appreciate all members of the panel of judges, including Mrs. Ifedola Kwademoso, whose name was not mentioned earlier. We say thank you to everyone, and we ask the Lord will bless you. Let me quickly tell you this, that this is just the maiden edition of the Caleb University Inter-School Debate. You will definitely have more of this in time to come. So please stay tuned. We will be inviting you for the oncoming debate. That one will not be a day event. It's going to it's going to feature pre-trials. It's going to feature a lot of activities that will feed into the finals, which will happen in a day. So all the other activities would have taken place before the final round. Once again, we want to appreciate all the schools that have come. We want to appreciate every one of them. We want to appreciate the teachers that have released them and that have come with them. We can only say that the good Lord will keep you as you go back to your bases. We pray gladly you will touch bases in Jesus' name. I want to tell you that the actual checks for the winners will be given in few minutes from now. All we will need will be the details of the beneficiary on those checks, as those schools want them to be. We will write the checks immediately. We will hand you the checks before you go. Please don't go yet. Make sure you see us before you go. So we will, to that effect, we want the teachers representing those schools to come with those participants. The teachers representing the schools, the winner schools, the African Church Model College, Baracha Model College, Baptist Academy, and Dancehall High School. So the teachers would like to see you immediately after this moment. Once again, we appreciate all our sponsors. We appreciate everyone that has contributed to this cause. We thank especially Zenith Bank for the awards in cash. We thank Stanbic IBTC for the cash award. We thank UBA for the cash award, EcoBank for the cash award. We thank the Miller Farms for the cash award. We thank Imotaluku Council Development Area for the cash award. Checkers Custard for the gifts in kind, the products shared. We thank Farm Milk for the products shared. We thank Right Foods for the product shares shared. We thank Golden Penny Foods also for the product shares. We thank everyone, and I want to thank you especially, and I hope to see you in other runs of this inter-school debate as God spares our lives. Thank you very much. God bless you. On this note, we want the closing prayer to be said by the Dean of Student Affairs, Pastor Dr. Olutayo Adetayo Olorunlana.
Please, let us pray. We are grateful, oh Lord. We are grateful, oh Lord, for all you have done for us. Hallelujah. We are grateful, oh Lord. Can we share the grace together in fellowship? May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be and abide with us now and forevermore. Amen. Surely, God's goodness and mercy shall follow us all the days of our life, and we shall abide in the house of the Lord forever and ever. Peace.
Caleb University is a faith-based institution, the first private university to offer undergraduate degrees in Lagos State. It has one of the best environments any university in any part of the world can boast of. And the motto of Caleb University is for God and humanity. And that's the reason why, as a faith-based university, Caleb University takes seriously the mandate to build character. In Caleb University, we are interested in the holistic development of our students. And on the academic front, we are building competencies, ensuring the right infusion of professional elements to ensure that our students are able to mainstream seamlessly.
To ensure that students are well taught and they have the best life in school, the university ensures through the registry that we employ the best hands academically, even support staff. One advantage, one unique selling point about our university is that we have very dedicated staff, whether academic staff or non-teaching staff. Another thing you need to know is that Caleb University is a faith-based school. We're a Christian faith-based school. And so it's not just enough for us to bring in students here, teach them, and then make them the best scientists or the best researchers. We also want them to go out there into the world and influence the world for God and for good.
The fee of Caleb University is about the best in the country. And we also give our parents the opportunity to stagger the payment. And when we compare the service we render, 500,000 per session, with the quality of the academic curriculum and the service we render, so that they are not comparable. But I can say that it's the best in the whole country.
One of the things I love most, especially right here in Caleb University, is for the fact that we have a very conducive environment for learning. The classroom, the various classrooms, they're well air-conditioned, which will create an atmosphere for effective learning and effective assimilation of what you're being taught.
Walking through the gates of Caleb University